Modern Warfare 3 Season 1 has been officially revealed now, and on top of that, I can say I actually got a bit of hands-on time with it. I'm a bit late to the party uploading this video the way flights worked out back home, but the footage and all, gameplay and impressions, that's going to be embargoed until Monday, so make sure you end up subscribing if you're new to the channel to get all the first looks at all of the content from the new maps, the weapons, all that kind of stuff from when I had the opportunity to play the Season 1 content. But today we're taking a look at the season at large with a more broader perspective, from a new trailer to the launch of the new blogs and the roadmaps and everything in between. So today we're taking a top-down level of what you can expect come Wednesday and the Season 1 launch for Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone. So let's jump into it because there is a ton to go into. Firstly, let's start out with that roadmap overview, giving you a bit of everything at a glance here, from multiplayer, zombies, Warzone, some of the new events, some of the new crossovers, all kinds of stuff like that. Front-facing is the Warzone stuff, which we'll touch on a little bit in detail here later on in the video. We have a large video breaking down everything individually here. I want to say either tomorrow or Saturday, way more in detail, but we have the new map of Urzikstan, obviously. We have the new features of the drivable train, horizontal zip lines, the big game bounty contract, and others are coming back. A ton of quality of life updates, the flyby public event, Vondel and Ashika Island both returning with Rebirth Island, as well as Fortune's Keep coming a little earlier next year, so not too far off, but for the time being, you still retain 2 Resurgence modes. You have the new Gulag, and you have the modes of Battle Royale, Plunder, and Resurgence. So yes, Plunder is going to be there as well. Modern Warfare 3 details a bit of the new maps, ranked play, the modes, the new Vortex maps, which we'll touch on in a little bit here, Modern Warfare Zombies, the new weapons, the operators, Santa's Playground, an in-season themed event, and the crossovers of Dune and The Boys. Let's break into these a little bit more individually and a bit more in depth. For the Modern Warfare 3 content, starting out with maps, we have Meet, a 6v6 map that is core and at launch. So that's something that is a very small, fast-paced butchery, something that takes place actually just across the bay from Sledgehammer in Oakland. A bit of real-world inspiration here at this, but it looks to be something that is very tightly compact in a very small, close-quarters map based off of the image they end up giving for that TAC map. Again, can't really go into specific details or impressions of what I played just yet. That's still embargoed. That would get me in all sorts of legal trouble, but based off of what we can see here in the blog, very small map, like very small. Then we have Greece, another 6v6 map coming at launch here at this, where honestly, it looks like a pristine and really nice, aesthetically pleasing map. In terms of the TAC map they give us, you end up seeing that you have some water, long lines of sight, but everything else is relatively, even though it is a sort of bigger map by comparison to Meet, you have so much different cover and areas that it breaks into much more close quarters combat here that it looks like this will be something that the SMGs, maybe now since they are buffed, especially shotguns and other things that are CQB oriented, will do very well with this. We have Rio coming in season. That's something that is probably going to be with that mid-season update, and it is something that ends up having, again, a mixture of those longer lines of sight, but also still a lot of close quarters engagements based off of the way that TAC map ends up working. Now, Training Facility is the new 2v2 gunfight map coming at launch. Of course, that then bringing back gunfight into Modern Warfare 3. And the cool part here with this is that it also ends up including a couple of different maps carrying forward from Modern Warfare 2. So if you jump into gunfight, you're not only going to get just Training Facility, you're also going to end up seeing in the rotation Alley, Black Site, Exhibit, and Shipment from Modern Warfare 2. Next, let's touch on some weapons. That, I think, is the next big thing here in regards to multiplayer offering. You have the XRK Stalker, which is a sniper rifle coming in the Battle Pass. This is a one-hit bolt-action rifle. It's versatile that it can be a heater at a distance if you want to kit it out for bullet velocity, something that really will just take the enemy down at super long ranges, or you can kit it out for ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, and it's something you can end up doing a lot of quick scoping with. It's something that is that sort of middle ground between what we see now, where you have like the longbow that is a weaker weapon, but also way faster to use, but also the Cat AMR, which is a powerhouse, but very slow to use. So it seems like this might be that middle ground in between that kind of stuff that gives you the power, but also the potential for faster fire and faster aiming as well. You have the Ram 7 in the Battle Pass, which is a bullpup built for power and mobility. And the other weapon in the Battle Pass is the Storm Ender, which is a new launcher, but it looks to be one that might actually be very situational, might not be exactly what you think, because it's a localized EMP launcher. It destroys tactical and lethal equipment, temporarily disabling other electronics in the vicinity as well. So it's not something that will secure kills or anything like that, but instead is more so used as that maybe sort of like breach and clear against, I don't know, like a trophy system in Hardpoint or something like that. So that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, if there's any real usability out of it, but that'll be your Battle Pass weapons. In season, we have the HRM-9, which is going to be an armory unlock, and the TAC Evolver in season, which is not described as an armory unlock, but may be that sort sort of extra Blackcell tier introduced as we've seen in the past couple of seasons with Modern Warfare 2. We also know of a ton of new aftermarket parts coming here within Modern Warfare 3. This is going to be something that, as they said from the very beginning, they want to build these out more. They want to be able to offer players even more. So it is something that probably you should get used to new aftermarket parts coming in seasons here from 1 through 6. First, we have the Jack Purifier, which is compatible with the MCW MTZ-556, Holger 556, DG56, SVA 545, Ram 7, MTZ-762, Bass B, Sidewinder, and Riveter. So most of your rifles, most of those battle rifles, and for whatever reason a shotgun as well, but it's an underbarrel flamethrower attachment you can end up getting. So that's something that is an interesting one. Without saying anything or breaking NDA or anything like that, I wouldn't be too worried about this being super overpowered. Personally, I didn't play with it, but the developers did comment on it that you shouldn't really be worried about it. Then we have the Jack Double Barrel Kit, which is available with the AMR-9 SMG that creates 2 stacked barrels that double the fire rate. So definitely cool. The AMR-9 is absolutely one that could use a benefit of the increase of the fire rate. We'll see if it goes a bit overkill with that in terms of the fire rate because you're doubling it, but anyways, we'll see. The Jack Thunder LMG kit is available for the Sidewinder, which essentially turns that Sidewinder into almost an LMG, bringing a larger capacity magazine and ramping up the fire rate the longer that you hold down the trigger. The Jack BRB is compatible with many assault rifles, SMGs, battle rifles, marksman rifles, and sniper rifles, but they said, go loud, this compensator borders on excessive, offering a phenomenal reduction to recoil while significantly increasing muzzle report, resulting in an extended red dot on the enemy radar. So if you don't care about giving up your position, you got a massive trade-off here in insane reduction of recoil. The Jack Bullseye does not mention what compatibility it has, but it's a very low profile optic dot. The Jack Glassless Optic, again, is something that does not have the compatibility listed, but it's a small glassless reflex optic. The Jack Signal Burst is compatible with the Holger 556, which is designed for accuracy and controllable with 4-round bursts. The Jack Beholder Rifle Kit for the tier is something that makes a long and heavy barrel for the tier, which improves recoil control and damage range, converting the handgun into a single shot rifle. And the Jack Headhunter Carbine Conversion is available for the Rival 9, which gives a 3-round burst conversion kit that excels at mid-range combat. So again, a lot of stuff here in regards to that aftermarket part selection and the weaponry on offer. So this is going to be something that's pretty standard going forward, so just make sure you're aware of that and getting used to it here as the seasons progress. Next, let's talk about some game modes here coming within Modern Warfare 3 Season 1. You have All or Nothing coming at launch, that including throwing knives and no ammo, where eliminations will grant you the scavenger perk where you can pick up ammo, and then you can end up using the pistol, which is the first to 20 wins at that point. So for those that have never played All or Nothing in any prior COD games, it's pretty fun. It's a party mode here that is kind of a classic. Cool to see it coming back. But then in mid-season, we have a ton of different game modes coming here. We have Vortex, firstly, which brings the zombies ray gun into the fold, kind of like a King of the Hill style free-for-all on alterations of maps. Thematically speaking, there is no functional or lane changes or anything like that to the maps, but you'll have Satan's Quarry, Spore Yard, and Tetanus as the maps in that. You'll have a CODMIS mode called Santa's Slayground, which is coming in mid-season. There's no real information other than that it's going to be accompanied by an event, and it kind of looks to sort of have a horror theme aesthetic to it for a darker Christmas variation than we're maybe used to. But we'll also see Infected in mid-season, Headquarters in mid-season, and Team Gunfight at mid-season, which is gunfight but 6v6 and played on regular maps. So kind of like the inverse of what we see with Face Off, where you take those higher player counts and put them into respawn modes on the gunfight maps. I think it'll be cool to see how that plays out. We'll see if it is something people like or maybe not. But anyways, beyond that, we'll have new gameplay items of the new perks of the Assassin Vest. This built for your stealthy players, but it's something that gives you a tactical and lethal. Field upgrade is removed. It gives you the gloves, boots, and gear as standard, but the big part is that when equipped, kills don't display skulls on the enemy's radar there, or sort of heads-up display, and it's also immune to enemy radar and UAVs, including while stationary, so you don't have to be moving whenever you have this equipped. That is the sort of big benefit here for this. It might be the sort of camper special with this, perhaps, and how you could go down that rabbit hole. One thing that I will say is that I'm definitely happy that this is at least nerfed compared to what it was, because as I mentioned, this was one of the ones that we did end up getting to play around with in August before Modern Warfare 3 was ever actually revealed. But in August, it also was something that gave you additional gear sets. And I don't recall 100%, but I'm pretty sure you still had your field upgrade as well. So it really gave you all those effects, but also then still let you have everything per normal, but also an additional gear slot. So it was pretty powerful back then. So at least it's been reeled back a little bit. Again, still not a fan of the whole stationary thing providing ghost cover, but it is what it is. We have new kill streaks here coming of the Swarm and the EMP, or rather returning kill streaks. You've seen both these here before, but Swarm, if you played Black Ops 2, you will recognize this immediately, and I'm excited to get my hands on and try this one out because, I mean, it's the Swarm. It's a classic, man. And then the EMP, that coming along at 13 kills, is an electromagnetic pulse to disrupt enemy kill streaks and equipment. So it should, in theory, be a pretty good way to hard counter as well the Swarm if you end up having that. So bear that in mind. We'll have new weekly challenges, a new set of 8 weeks in regards to challenges, all coming along with individual week rewards, but also that ultimate goal of the new Coherence camo, probably animated like this preseason's camo, but it's a still image provided. We don't know if that's actually the case. We'll have the new operators of Nolan, probably going to butcher this, Dokaibi, and Abolisher as the Blackcell operator. Additionally, and obviously Blackcell is returning. Don't really care to go too far into that. Still not a huge fan of the Blackcell stuff, but I mean, it's what we have, so it is going to be returning here with Season 1 and Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone's integration. We have new prestige levels and rewards, 5 prestiges and upwards of level 250 to now hit, with the new Venomous MTZ 556 blueprint as that season reward for hitting level 250. Jumping over into zombies here before we wrap everything up is a new act, so more challenges to end up completing if you have not completed all of your stuff already, or if you have, rather. New Dark Ether rifts, which will take you to a new location in the Dark Ether, a new wonder weapon of the VR11, that returning from the original Black Ops, and new schematics available for unlock for various different items. As for Warzone, before we wrap everything up, just a quick little mention here. I don't want to go too far into this again because we are already like 12, 13, 14 minutes deep. Haven't edited this commentary down just yet, but we're quite far into the video already and there is a ton of stuff, but also I feel like with how much there is, it's definitely worth noting in its own independent video. So again, check back in full for tomorrow or Saturday's video and we'll have you covered on that kind of stuff. But at least as a brief rundown, here's what we can learn out of the sort of roadmap and the deep dive they gave for Warzone. Of course, you have the new map of Urzikstan. You have returning Vondel and Ashika Island for Resurgence players. So for those that do like Resurgence, there is not going to be any sort of limited window where you can only play the new big map BR. You're going to be able to jump in however you see fit. Play Resurgence, play the new big map BR map, whatever. You can use both of those to your advantage. You have the new mobile POI of the drivable train. You have 3 map variants of the Gulag, that being something that gives you a little bit in terms of there's an NVG version of it. I think there was one other one as well, but then that base version as well. At launch, you're going to have Battle Royale, Plunder, and Resurgence with the core Resurgence, but also Rotation Resurgence. In season, we're going to see Lockdown return here, as well as Sleigh Ride Resurgence, where Zombie Santa is on the runaway train. There's a deer hunt public event, Christmas trees, and a snowball fight. So just a kind of zany and little funny twist on stuff, but that'll be coming. Quality of life, we have new loot rarity returning. That is something that I think was just for the sake of like quick reference. It's just color theory, having those things with the rarity of items. Having that is just something that's so easy to pick up and understand in the moment. Like obviously you know that orange is red is better than purple. Purple is better than blue. Blue is better than green, and green is better than nothing. That's just the gray. So I like that personally. Color theory, I'm a big nerd with that kind of stuff. You have dedicated ammo slots returning. TAC map icons have been updated and now also look identical to the Modern Warfare 2019 version. You have a pistol while swimming, manual gas mask animation, contract activation laptops, and more. And gameplay of things like the horizontal zip lines, big game bounty, the flyby event, classic red dots again, new perks, shrouded, irradiated, tempered, and combat scout returning, movement updates like ADS while sliding, tac stance, running, reload, sim speed boost, slide cancel, and all. And then also coming in the season 1 reloaded update, Champion's Quest, covert exfil, and new weapons cases for everything. So that is essentially season 1 in a nutshell. Again, a lot more to dive into within Warzone, but at a top level, that's really all you need to know. So again, stick it here on the channel. We're not only going to have gameplay coming of season 1 and the multiplayer content for Modern Warfare 3 on Monday, but also in between then a ton of other stuff you will not want to miss. So make sure you stick it here on the channel. I'd love to have you in the community, but let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. Again, subscribe if you're new, but for now, that's what we're going to call it. So thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Hopefully you're looking forward to season 1 because we got a lot upcoming. Take care and peace.